Wasn't obvious to literally everybody. Apple putting out something that requires that you use the Apple products in order to detect it, and it being used for tracking anything is dumb. It also defeats the purpose of using the Apple tracking products as a load jack. Someone will just use a utility to see if you're trying to track your car, your bike, or your purse, and find the little doohickey and throw it away so they can successfully get away with stealing things. Obviously, criminals are going to be able to think just slightly ahead. They may not be very high-tech, but they'll try to be. They'll need to be. Allowing users to detect whether there is an AirTag following them that's being used to stalk them. For iPhone users and non-iPhone users, high-tech stalking, that the only way you can defeat it, this problem created by Apple, is buying an iPhone, obviously would put Apple in a position of getting quite literally drilled in the ass for doing this. I mean, we're talking full-on probing, by the aliens. Apple had to put out an app. It's got to be free. Don't pay a dime for it. That basically scans for any Bluetooth device in your area that's able to be paired up with anything. If you're not aware of how this works, it works with currently any Bluetooth device that anybody's Apple phone wants to communicate with. And it does this because Apple sets up their Bluetooth and all of their security to be very friendly to literally everybody else. Not so much on competing company products like, I don't know, a Galaxy, or whatever. But anyway, the whole point is that if you have an Apple product, you too are part of the cabal helping people track someone's car or something. Anyway, these little devices are battery powered, and they're neat for finding your keys and that sort of thing. But the fact is that people have used them quite successfully to track their car if it was stolen, and also thieves are using it to figure out where your car is so they can steal your car. All it relies on is you going by anybody who has an Apple product. And most phones, because Apple wants us to be successful, are set up with a bunch of settings you don't have control over that are friendly to everyone else using your resources, your battery, your cell phone functionality. If it's an Apple, Apple is not your friend. But they're graciously giving out an app for everybody else who isn't using their product so they can decide whether or not that tag that they didn't know they had can be removed. Anyway, it may or may not work. It's kind of dodgy. And this was only announced December 13th, 2021, pretty quietly, but it has flaws. It's not perfect. Again, this is based on Bluetooth. Now let's try again here. You should be able to use a reasonably high quality Bluetooth device detector. Remember, Bluetooth works over, many feet. It can work like 35 feet away pretty damn reliably. That's why this tag, this tracking, the stalking device, this bug, would work. So yeah, duh. So somebody out there needs to develop a piece of software that can scan a room for Bluetooth devices that are also intermittently recording. I don't know or care whether or not the Apple iTag records GPS data or anything like that. Apparently it doesn't, but that's not far away. Someone's going to come up with a Bluetooth device that looks like the Apple thingy or is about the same size, that's literally just going to keep track of everything you do, and then whenever it runs into anything Bluetooth enabled or Wi-Fi enabled, which will become in the future, pretty common, it will then upload whatever has happened to it. That's the next step. And that won't be easily found because it'll look for any public Wi-Fi or anybody who's got an Apple product. It'll emulate it. And yeah, by making this transparently not transparent, by making this happen without anybody asking, it's a little like, I don't know, the Wi-Fi hotspot that always comes these days with your 4-pay internet hookup that likes to let everybody outside your house have access and you can't turn it off. Some of you have that problem too. I might leave a link to that. But anyway, yeah, you can detect other Bluetooth devices in your area, the AirTag specifically. And yes, there is generic software that you can get that will try to track every Bluetooth-enabled device in your home to see if you want them in your home. I recommend you get in the middle of the house and use a Bluetooth scanning utility that looks for any Bluetooth equipment in your computer, cell phone, whatever, and looks for everything Bluetooth enabled in the place. And if you don't recognize something, you're going to have to find it and get rid of it. But yeah, Apple graciously helped everybody, all us peasants who don't have Apple products, find out if their bugs are following us. And also, I'm going to repeat this, they can turn that off and make it to where you can't detect it later. And yes, eventually it won't rely on Apple or anybody else. It'll be a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled and maybe even cellular enabled low jack. And that'll be a problem because eventually it'll do burst transmission mode whenever it comes within range of an open internet connection of any kind and upload data, and we won't know about it because it won't be transmitting all the time. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and good luck with that. You'll need it.